Well, Dan, it is really a privilege and an honor for me to be here as the president of the King's College with a very special announcement that you're going to come on board at the King's College with the title of Presidential Scholar and Art Historian in Residence. So most of us know about Dan Siedell through this book, God in the Gallery, A Christian Embraces Modern Art. But maybe you could just give us the 90-second autobiography.
Sure. I'm trained as an art historian, and I have a PhD in the history of modern art, and I've spent about 20 years as a museum curator and a college professor and a working art critic, which means I write about art. And I love modern art particularly, and it's something that I've devoted my life to.
Dan, we've already had lots of conversations about Christianity and the arts, and one of the things that we've talked about is how it is all these years on, especially even in evangelical circles, that we're still having the question out there, how do Christians relate to the arts? And is art important? And we're still having these conversations decades on after Hans Ruckmacher and other people have done it. And so talk to us a little bit about that. What do you bring to the table in terms of that conversation?
Well, I grew up loving Jesus and loving modern art, and I can't separate them. And I think the evangelical church in many ways just doesn't know how to use art. They want to use it, and they want to make it work somehow for the kingdom, and they have an end, and it just doesn't behave the way we want it to behave. And so an important part of my project is for me to create a space for people to just dwell in that brokenness, dwell in the complexity, dwell in the ambiguity of experiencing a work of art, and not have to feel the pressure to make it useful for the kingdom. God is at work in the world. He's busy at work in the world, and I believe he's busy at work in the world in the experience that I have in front of paintings.
So talk a little bit about, you've already described how you would want to introduce our King's College students to people in the art world here in New York City. What are some other things that you plan to be doing?
Teaching is an important thing for me. It's a selfish thing. I mean, I love teaching because it helps me work out questions that I'm thinking about, and it helps my writing. It helps me as a thinker as I'm talking out these questions, talking out these issues with students who are smart and can offer questions and that I can bring along with me. So from a very selfish standpoint, the classroom is a wonderful place. And I also feel that I have experience to share. And I know I know the experience that I had as an undergraduate when art became something else to me, not just a subject, but something that was truly attractive and seductive to me. And I want to be able to create those opportunities for students to do that. Also, I'll teach my own classes. I look forward to, and have already have spoken as a guest lecturer in other classes. I look forward to doing it in perhaps theology classes, economics classes, business classes.
So teaching across the curriculum.
Absolutely, to demonstrate and to show that that artistic practice is something that affects and is in conversation with philosophy, theology, politics, business, economics. And that to me is very interesting. As a curator, I experience
Can I come
the
to those
whole
classes?
gamut. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Can the president show up to these things?
You're cordially invited.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Dan Siedell, art historian in residence at the King's College. Welcome.
It is my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.